Honourable member for Banff-Cochrane.
Mr. Speaker, last year our province faced one of the most challenging wildfire seasons in its history. Communities in our forested areas saw the third highest number of wildfires ever, with an area more than twice the size of the 25-year average being burned. The threat of forest fire is a constant concern for the residents of Banff-Cochrane. To the Minister of Agriculture and Forestry, what is this government doing to ensure that Alberta's forests and our forestry communities are being protected from the very serious threat of wildfires?
Minister of Agriculture and Forestry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and the member from Banff-Cochrane for the question. Our government is committed to protecting people and property from the threat of wildfire. To properly prepare for this wildfire season, on February 16th, I authorized the acceleration of preparation activities by moving the start of wildfire season to March 1st. This helps our province prepare in two ways. First, it helps by monitoring burning activities so that we can manage and mitigate risk by requiring stakeholders to obtain a no-charge fire permit 1 month earlier in order for the department to proactively and cooperatively address burning projects. And second, it ensures that firefighting preparations and training are well underway and will get into the middle of spring by facilitating early recruitment, retention, training and mobilization.
Thank you, Honourable. First supplemental.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Given that this has again been a very dry spring for most areas in our province, and given that this year's fire season will likely be intense as well, to the same minister, what are you doing to prepare Alberta's forest communities for wildfire threats to make them safer and more resilient in the face of these natural disasters?
Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, our province has learned some very tough lessons about wildfires and the risk associated with it. Mr. Speaker, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, a fact well known to Alberta's forest communities. One of the ways our government is helping to mitigate the risk of wildfire to Alberta's forest communities is by working to implement the recommendations coming out of the Flat Top Complex. More than this, Mr. Speaker, my department is working hard with communities and property owners in Alberta's green areas to implement fire-smart initiatives, such as vegetation management, to remove fuel for wildfires to spread, improved integracy cooperation, better responses, and better emergency planning in the case of evacuation.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Second supplemental.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Given that your department estimates that half of last year's fires were human-caused, and given that your department will spend over $500 million fighting wildfire last year, what are you and your department doing to stop or minimize human-induced behaviours that lead to wildfires that threaten communities like those in Banff-Cochrane?
Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There's many things that we can do to minimize human-induced activities. For example, I've taken the opportunity to order review of the Forest and Prairie Protection Act and Regulations Part 1 and 2. Public engagement is a key step in the amendment and reform of legislation. We're asking Albertans if fines for burning fires without due care should be increased. We're also asking Albertans if they think the rules on debris disposal need to be changed to better protect our forests. Additionally, we also support fire chiefs and municipalities' efforts to provide information on active fire bans in the province. I encourage everyone to visit Alberta Fire Ban.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.